When I was growing up, the city was a place to be explored, especially in the summertime. In the summertime, we would go out and we were not actually allowed back home until the street lights were on. When I say we, I mean my older brother and my cousins. My cousin Larry, he was 13. He was a leader among us. He always had the idea. He knew what we were doing. He had a kind of a vision, and we just followed along. My brother Harry was 12. He was his right-hand man, fearless. He would do whatever was commanded of him. My brother Billy, my cousin Billy, he was 11. He was a troublemaker. Like if there was a beehive there, he would poke it with a stick, just to see what would happen. Me, I was 10. I was very ductile. I would follow along, whatever they said. Typically not happy about it. Typically it was like, guys, that's not a great idea. But I would do it anyways. And it seemed at the time like we never had any consequences for our actions. Like the rules didn't apply to us. And we did a lot of stupid things. Like I remember growing up, climbing on a lot of roofs. I remember jumping on and off moving trains. And it seemed like we never had anything bad happen, even jumping on and off moving trains. Worse, we had little skin knees. No big deal. It's like we felt invulnerable. The world couldn't hurt us. I remember one time, we climbed up on the roof of a church. And as we got down, the priest came up and said, "Hey boys, you come with me, we're calling your parents." So we all said, "Oh, okay, Father." And as soon as he opened the door, we all just ran. Like, the rules don't apply to us, it's no big deal. But I do remember the day when I learned the lesson that my actions have consequences that matter. We used to hang out at this local convenience store called Stop and Shop. The owner of it, Mr. Ullman. We used to call him Mr. Old Man. Although, when I think about it, he wasn't that old. He must have been like 50 or so. Never liked the guy. I didn't like him because he didn't like kids. It was obvious. If you're standing in line and there's an adult behind you, he would serve the adult first. We'd be sitting there playing pinball. He'd come over. "Hey kids, what are you doing? You shouldn't be winning so many free games." I'm like, "Hey, whoa, we're just playing a pinball game here, man." Well, one day Larry decided, let's climb up on the roof of Stop and Shop. We go back to the alley. It was pretty easy to get up on. He had put this construct above his garbage. It was a wooden construct with a tin roof on it. Only about 6 feet high, we climbed up on that. And then from there it was pretty easy to get up on the roof of the shop itself. Now the shops on this street were all connected. All the roofs were connected. Some up a little bit, some down a little bit. So it was super fun to play on those roofs. It was like being in a movie, you know, where they're shooting at you with guns and snipers. You're up and you're down. It was great. We're running around, playing around there. Lots of fun. Well, after we had our fun, it was time to come down. So my older cousin Larry, he carefully climbs down. Harry carefully climbs down. Well, Billy stands on the edge of the roof. Bang! Jumps on top of that tin roof, and I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? I have no choice, I have to follow along, I can't just stand there. I jump after him, I'm on the ground. Back door comes flinging open. Mr. Ullman's there. He's got fire in his eyes, steam's coming out of his ears. He wants blood, and he's looking at me. So I get up and I start running. Well, it's a gravel driveway behind the shop, and I start running on that gravel, and stones are flipping, and he's right behind me. I can feel him, I can hear him. And I go and I zip left as quick as I can. Well, he tries to turn left, and I hear him take a spill. And I run and I catch up with my brother and my cousins, and I was conflicted in that moment. I was like, whew, whew, I got away. And then my brother says, well, he fell pretty hard. And I look back and I can see he had some blood on his arms there. And I had a lot of emotions going on. It's like I wanted to get away. I didn't want to get caught. It was our typical MO. Rules don't apply to us. But I recognized in that moment, I caused this. Through the choices I made, I caused this. Never went back to the shop. If I did, it must have been 20 years later. But my cousin Billy went in the next day and he said, oh yeah, he's got some bandages on his arms. He's pretty bruised up from this. And I'd like to tell you that I never made any foolish mistakes since then. And I'd like to tell you that I never followed a leader blindly since then. But these aren't true. But what I can tell you is I believe that moment changed me. Simply recognizing that my actions had consequences that mattered. Made me examine myself. Made me examine the choices I made. So I encourage you, as you go through your days, when you have these down moments where you think, this is not the way I wanted to turn out at all, as painful as it is, oftentimes the introspective reflection on it can turn you into a better person. It's like they say how a broken bone heals that much stronger. This moment, as painful as it was for me, helped turn me into the man I am today. Mr. Toastmaster. And unfortunately, I have to leave to manage a debate competition.